Hello, everybody. It's Tortoise Investing coming at you today with maybe an answer to a question that I see quite often. How many stocks should I own in my portfolio? Well, it's a tricky question, but I think I might be able to give a little bit of wisdom on the topic. Before we dive into that, very quickly, none of this is financial advice. Go ahead and do your own research before investing in anything. And I'm going to go ahead and show you my portfolio. This is what I'm rocking. This is how everything is looking currently for allocation setup. Go over to the holdings tab. Bam. CNI, Texas Roadhouse, Ulta Beauty, top three. Bottom three is CHD, Extra Space Storage, and Hershey Company. So, back to the original question, how many stocks should I own? You can Google it. You're going to get a giant variety, 20 to 30, to at least 25. I think down here we see 10 to 15, a lot of 20 to 30s, a whole lot of 20 to 30s. It's same thing with YouTube. There's countless, endless videos on how many stocks should you own. Well, what I like to think of is what old Peter Lynch said when it comes to how many stocks should I hold. Very quickly, just going to read this. As portfolio manager at Magellan, Lynch held as many as 1,400 stocks at a time. Although he's successful in juggling this many stocks, he does point out the significant problem managing such a large number of stocks. This was literally his job. Day in, day out, 8, 10, 12, 16 hours a day. Look at investments, look at stocks, tear them apart, put them back together. As an individual investor, you probably don't have that much time to devote to 100, 200, thousands, maybe even 20 or 30 stocks. Maybe you don't have enough time to do that much research into them. Individual investors, of course, will get nowhere near that number, but he is weary of over-diversification the same. There's no point in diversifying just for the sake of diversifying, he argues, particularly if it means less familiarity with the firms. Lynch says investors should own however many exciting prospects that they are able to uncover that pass all the tests of research. Also suggests investing in several categories of stocks as a way of spreading the down risk. On the other hand, warns against investing in a single stock. So don't go all in on one. Pretty much, Peter Lynch, known for saying, buy what you know. This investment slogan, which asserts the investor should invest in companies that they are familiar with and understand so that they can develop reasonable expectations about the company's growth potential and prospects. So invest in what you own, what you know. Don't just go out buying any old thing because you heard it on the YouTubes or the internet's told you that this is going to be the next 10x. It's terrible, especially if you don't know anything fundamentally how the company works. So really my answer to that question is the total amount of stocks that you should hold, how many that you can keep up with, understand the ins and outs of, and maintain as time goes on. That's the reason I'm very condensed in my portfolio. I've got one ETF and I have 7 individual holdings. And to be honest, I don't see me getting much more than what I've got right now. One ETF, maximum maybe 10 holdings in the future, if that. But I'm happy with the way that things are right now. I'm very condensed, but I'm invested in things that I know, that I understand. MasterCard, I got several of those in my wallet over there, unfortunately. Credit cards are, a blessing and a curse. Extra Space Storage, I'm familiar with them. Self-storage, #1 self-storage company in the United States with units, over 3,500 of them. Just recently did an acquisition of Life Storage. Hershey Company. Hershey, it's chocolate. Everyone loves chocolate. They got a big moat. Pretty much got their hands in all the candies. Texas Roadhouse. Really nice, middle tier, affordable steakhouse. They got great service, and their debt with their financial sheet is beautiful. Apple, iPhones. Canadian National Railway. They ship a bunch of things by the railway, and if you haven't looked at the numbers, they've got, when it comes to other railroad companies, their debt to EBITDA ratio is a whole lot better. I like that about them a lot. And when it comes to railroads, they're going to be around for a while, 100, 200 years from now. Reason being is it is, I think, statistically 4 times cheaper to ship something by railway than the next thing. So I had a handful of railroads that I was looking at: Canadian Pacific, Union Pacific, CSX, and I looked at all their balance sheets. CNI was the one that I liked most, so I got it. And Ulta Beauty, it's like one of the top makeup brands. And again, their financial sheet and everything just looks absolutely amazing, and they are renovating and opening up stores pretty consistently. So what I gave you there is just a rundown of all my individual holdings, but I can keep up with that. I can tell you, you know, Extra Space Storage, their last earnings that they had it looked really promising, and things going forward looks promising for the company. And that's the reason I hung in with it, even though it dropped 26. I was down 26% on this at one point. 26% at one point down in Extra Space Storage. But I did my research. I understood the company. I knew that them doing an acquisition of Life Storage is going to help them in the long run. I'm down 2% now. But you know what? I was buying as it was dropping because I believed in it. I did my research. So really, invest in as many companies as you can understand and feel comfortable holding and learning about. You know, you can't overcomplicate it, but that's how I am. Again, going forward, I'm probably just gonna have a really condensed portfolio. I don't ever see myself having even 15 holdings, but that's just me. If there's some people out there might have the time to do that. They might have the time to invest into, learning about more holdings and more companies and stuff. But that's just my way of investing. So really, the real answer to that question in my eyes, is how many stocks should I hold? As many as you feel comfortable doing the research in and keeping up to date with what's going on with them. And if you know what they're about. Again, don't invest in some Micron, Chippo, Reno, times 72, teraflop, Reno, whatever. None of that. I don't know anything about semiconductors. I don't hold any of them. But anyways, that's everything I got for you. I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you have not. And until next time, take care.